Hello, welcome to the Cornell Morning Show, hosted by me, Anushka.
And me, Ian.
Today we are going to be talking about a very touchy subject.
We're going to talk about the Tienanmen Square Massacre.
These events took place in April 14th, 1989 to June 6th, 1989.
The massacre occurred because students wanted representation from their nation.
They died for the freedom of speech, freedom of press, and freedom of self-expression.
We have all these things in Canada. It's so easy to take these things for granted. We will be explaining to all of you the story behind the massacre.
Yes.
April 15th, 1989, Huo Bang, student activist leader of the Communist Party of China, died from a mysterious illness.
Here, we will pass the story on to our two research experts. Over and out.
Thank you. Now, we will take the story for now.
The story continues with students protesting for the same right. Hu Yaobang provided for them.
So the next day, hundreds of students began protesting.
Government leader Li Peng was worried that this could get out of control. He even worried the protests would become violent.
And he worried that the protests would ruin his control, that the protests would change the political system, and that the protests could destroy him manipulating the media.
So he asked the chairman to end the protests.
But instead, he began talking to the protesters and taking in their opinions from the protesters.
This led Li Peng to get severely angry at the chairman.
Then 4 weeks after the protest began, the chairman appeared at the square again and said that it was the end, that they have gone too far.
The next day, they found out that the chairman had died from an unknown source.
That's terrible. How could the people let this happen?
Well, they didn't. Many students began a hunger strike in the square. These students were protected by many other students holding hands, showing that all the students are together in power against the corruption of the government.
They kept protesting and trying to get freedom of their representation.
At the same time this was happening, President Gorbachev of the United Soviet Socialist Republic was visiting Li Peng. Many international news teams traveled to China to capture this developing story and this meeting between the two political leaders. This meant that these journalists that traveled from around the world are viewing what's happening in Tiananmen Square. They're there filming and recording the events.
These reporters told the outside world about this. They were telling the world about Li Peng's corruption.
So pretty much, they told everyone that Li Peng was manipulating the media and what he did was wrong.
If I was Li Peng, I'd be mad, and I'd want revenge.
That's true.
He actually did do something against the protesters. He told the PLA.
People's Libertarian Army.
Whatever. Anyway, the PLA took over the radio waves and banned all international media and told all reporters not to take photos of protests in Tiananmen Square. They called the students contra-revolutionaries, and Li Peng declared martial law and curfew.
Then they decided to send in paramedics to help the students with the hunger strike. But there are many students making a human wall preventing the paramedics to get to the students.
But of course, they got some of them and took them to the hospital.
And they helped them get cured from malnutrition, right?
Well, no.
Yes, they were taken to the hospital, but then the police then interrogated them and sometimes tortured the patients for information about the student prisons.
But the protests kept on growing. And while news teams were illegally filming these protests for the rights that these students deserved, these news teams became and got into bigger dangers. The biggest news teams that filmed there were the CBC, ABC, CNN, BBC, and MSNBC.
These new teams tried to tell the world about the protests, sometimes risking their lives.
And did any of them get hurt?
Yes, some reporters did get injured, like Michelle Cartwright. She was filming in the front lines of the protests when she was viciously attacked by PLA soldiers and was arrested for 8 months, even after the protests. While in prison, she was tortured because of treason. She was hurt because she was telling the news that the world should have known.
And this wasn't even the worst part. This was happening until June the 1st.
What happened next? Hopefully something good happened.
Actually, June the 1st, the situation became 10 times worse. Our friend Li Peng was going to make a final stand against the protests.
He sent in the local Beijing army with batons and tear gas to clear the square. They arrested about 600 protesters that night. but 600 wasn't enough for Li Peng.
So, on June the 4th, hundreds of soldiers carrying AK-47s lined up around the square and began shooting the students, blanket firing them, killing them.
The soldiers are monsters. Why would they kill their own people? They are the People's Liberty Army, right?
They are, but their main purpose is to defend China's leader. That is Li Peng, and his enemy are the protesters.
So, in the end, the army cleared the square of protesters, but killed hundreds of the protesters. Li Peng attempted to cover up this story by banning any media from escaping the country or any reports in the country to go out. He also started burning the bodies, prevented rumors, and gave the PLA total control of the city, and if anybody was talking about the events, they would be shot right on spot.
It is estimated that the number of people who are killed can range from 800 to 9,000 people.
To this day, thousands, tens of thousands of people are still in prison for believing on what was right that day.
So you can believe what you believe, but what happened occurred, so we cannot forget this.
So this is the true story about the horrific events at Tiananmen Square that happened from April 14th to June the 4th. Thank you for listening to us. Back to you, Ian.
That is a very horrific incident.
Thank you for the story, Matthew and Christian, and thank you to all our fans. Over and out. Doop!